Welcome to Quick Course Digest. Today, we're diving deep into what it really takes to develop an effective team. We're going to look at the entire blueprint, the secret sauce that transforms a group of talented individuals into a high-performing, unstoppable unit. So let's get right into it.
We've broken this journey down into 4 key parts. First up, we'll talk about building your dream team from scratch. Then, we'll get into charting the course, how to set goals that actually work. After that, we'll fire up the communication engine that really fuels everything. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at how to achieve that peak performance level. It's the whole shebang for team success.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, building your dream team. Because let's be honest, you can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, right? This is all about getting the right people in the right seats from day one.
So first things first, what even is a team? Well, it's way more than just a bunch of people who work together. A real team is a small, focused group, ideally under 12 people, all driving towards one common goal. And here's the magic ingredient. Every single member is there for a reason, playing a specific role that leverages their unique strengths.
And of course, teams aren't one size fits all. They come in all different shapes and sizes. You've got your functional teams, where everyone has similar skills. Think of everyone in the marketing department. Then there are cross-functional teams, which are really cool because they bring together experts from different areas for a project. Problem-solving teams are like a special task force, assembled just to tackle one specific issue. And then you have self-managed teams, which are pretty independent and run themselves. The point is, the team's mission really dictates its structure.
Now, every single team goes on a kind of journey, and the psychologist Bruce Tuckman mapped it out perfectly. It all starts with the forming stage. Imagine you're starting a food truck. You'd pick a chef, someone to handle the money, and a person to run the front window. You're figuring out who's good at what and what the game plan is. But then comes the hard part.
And that's the storming stage. This is where things get real. People start to challenge each other and conflicts pop up. Maybe the chef wants to buy fancy, expensive ingredients, but the finance person is like, no way, that's not in the budget. This stage is a total make or break moment. The teams that learn how to navigate this conflict are the ones that survive and eventually thrive.
Okay, so your team has made it through the storm. Awesome. But now what? A team without a destination is just going to wander around aimlessly. That brings us to part 2, charting the course. This is all about giving your team a map and a clear destination. Fuzzy goals are a team's worst enemy. They just create confusion. That's why the SMART Goals framework is such a game changer. It's a simple tool that forces you to make your goals specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-phased. Basically, it turns a vague wish into an actual, concrete plan of attack.
Let's break this down, because this is where the magic happens. Look at how a vague idea like, I should learn about widgets, gets totally transformed. It becomes, I will attend 2 local workshops on how to create custom widgets by November 10. See that? Now you know exactly what to do, how to measure it, and when it needs to be done. No more guesswork.
So, to make sure everyone's on the same page, great teams create a team charter. The best way to think about this is like it's the team's constitution or rulebook. It answers all the big questions right at the beginning. Who does what? Who has the final say? What's our budget? Getting this stuff sorted out early saves you from so many headaches down the road.
All right, you've got the right people and you've got a solid plan. So what's missing? The fuel. And that fuel is communication. This is the engine that powers literally every single thing your team does. Every decision, every action, every bit of progress.
Real communication isn't just about talking at people. It's actually a 4-step loop. The sender has an idea, they send the message, but here's the step everyone forgets. Step 3. The receiver sends a confirmation message back. Just a simple, got it, so you need that report by 8 a.m. Thursday. That one little step closes the loop and kills misunderstandings before they can even start.
And get this is absolutely wild. Research by Albert Mehrabian found that the actual words you say, they only make up about 7% of your message's impact. A whopping 93% comes from nonverbal stuff, your body language and your tone of voice. So it's really not just what you say, it's all about how you say it.
And that leads to this incredibly important point. Trust and communication are completely intertwined. They're like a feedback loop. When you communicate openly and honestly, you build trust. And when there's a high level of trust, people feel safe enough to communicate openly. You just can't have one without the other.
It's also about using the right tool for the job. For something really sensitive or complicated, nothing beats a face-to-face conversation. If your team is remote, virtual meetings are fantastic for brainstorming, even if you sometimes have to deal with a frozen screen. And for creating a paper trail or documenting a plan, written communication is your best friend. Choosing the right method is half the battle.
This brings us to our final and most exciting part. We've gone from forming a team to making it good. But how do you make it great? How do you unlock that full potential and reach peak performance? Let's dig into the keys.
The research on this is crystal clear. Diverse teams consistently run circles around homogeneous ones. But why? Well, when you have people with different backgrounds, different experiences, and different ways of thinking, you get way more creativity, you get better problem solving, they're more open to new ideas, and, as we know, they're better at navigating that all-important conflict.
And here's something that sounds simple but is incredibly powerful: recognizing great work. This isn't just about making people feel good. It's a strategic move. When you celebrate effort and results, it boosts morale, sure, but it also improves the quality of work and strengthens everyone's commitment. Plus, it shows the rest of the team exactly what behaviors you want to see more of.
And at the end of the day, just remember this: a high-performing team is made up of high-performing individuals. It really does start with you. So focus on making sure you understand what's expected of you, play to your own unique strengths, be brave enough to ask for feedback, and always stay open to trying new things.
So, as we wrap up, I want you to think about your own team. We've talked about building the right foundation, setting those SMART goals, mastering communication, and embracing diversity. Which one of these keys, which one of these ideas could be the thing that truly unlocks your team's full potential? Finding that answer might just be the start of something amazing.